Doing it here, though.
Well, I'm trying to be a little more positive. But we honestly, we had a tour where everywhere we played, it rained for almost 2.5 months. And we would see the forecast, and the day before it was beautiful, and the day after we left, it was beautiful. And so that's where that song came from. And I wrote it during the beginning of the pandemic just because I knew we weren't going to tour for a while, and I missed it so much that I could at least write about it.
So while you're in the UK, you're going to record an album that will be out next year, but you're touring as well in August. Are you going to road test those tracks then, some of them, so that people can have a little flavour?
Our tour starts in July, and we start as far east as Poland, and then we kind of make our way across Europe and into the UK. So yeah, I actually like finding the songs on the road before they come out and kind of using the band to get them kind of to where I want them to be and see what the audience is responding to as well. And we've had such an amazing experience touring here in the UK that I find that the audience gives you the answers.
Yeah. Can you remember which cities you particularly like?
Well, I like them all. But I have to say, the audiences that we've had in Manchester were extraordinary. And I remember the first time we played there, there was 3 guitar players, including myself, and all of us broke a string at a different time in the same show. And the audience still went nuts. And I remember walking off stage looking at Michael Gurley, an extraordinary guitar player, and I was like, we were not that good. So they kind of really pulled us through, and they were fantastic.
Nice.
Big music city, Manchester.
Absolutely. Yeah. We've got Cindy, who's asking, what is the inspiration for your new music?
You know, for me, they're like journals. So each album is representative of a time in my life. I write the songs are very personal. They're songs from what's happening at that time, and so I want the albums to actually come out in a timely fashion because that's a real representation of kind of now. So again, it's just personal moments. The first couple albums, I think, had a lot of sad songs on them, and it was somehow easier to express that. The songs are getting kind of happier and more hopeful.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, but again, it's just what's going on around me and with my friends and my family, and they're observations that I make about life around me.
Now, you've said in the past, I think, Kiefer, that you're, I suppose, a bit more nervous on stage than you are when you're on set of a film, which I think is understandable. But you've, played Glastonbury now, you've done plenty of shows. Are you starting to feel more and more comfortable every time you go on